A quick introduction to myself. I am Stephanie Lucero, that random person that sends you lots of emails. This is the face. Nice to meet you all. We'll get to know each other very well over the next couple days. Before we start our welcome and introductions, we do want to go over some safety issues. We are in the Wildland Training Center, so Wildfire Training Center.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing? All right. My name is Matt Andrews. I am the Business Center Manager here at the Wildland Fire Training Center. I'd like to welcome you here today for your meeting. I'm just going to give you a quick safety brief. I see a lot of familiar faces. So for those of you that have never been here before, the north end, all our main classrooms are named after events where we've lost firefighters' lives or have had a major policy change because of an accident. So we ask that out of respect for our fallen firefighters, while you're in the building, please do not wear headgear of any kind. Second, this is a federal facility, so there's no tobacco policy in place. But if you do need to smoke or take that kind of break, that main patio where you came in right there is set up for that. Second, in the event of emergency, we ask that you either dial 911 on your cell phone or on that black house phone back there, just dial 911 to get out, and then let us know, and we'll take care of any situations. And we also ask that you evacuate using either one of these exits and try to make your way out to this grass area on the east side over here so we can get a head count, make sure everybody's safe. If you do need the AED machine, we only have one in the building, and it's directly on the back side of this wall as you come in. If you need a first aid kit, there's one next to the bathroom that's down this hall right here. So you go out the door and you take a quick short little hallway and then take a right, and there's bathrooms and a first aid kit if you need it. If for some reason that bathroom's closed for cleaning, just go all the way to the south end and go east or west all the way to the end, and you'll see another set of bathrooms. If you need to take a break and you want some coffee or candy or something, we do have a cafeteria. It's right down this main hallway right here. Just go up the ramp and it's on the left. If you guys need to have something faxed or scanned or need some help from the Business Center, go out the door right here, take the first right down the hallway and the second left down the major hallway and up the ramp, and you'll see us. Parking is okay in this area over here, as long as you didn't park in front of the metal buildings over there, because they'll tell you over there. So if you've parked over there, you need to move. Other than that, have a great day, and we're around if you need us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So with that, I'd like to actually first welcome our welcome speaker, Katie Sanchez and Frank Leinhart from the Native American Heritage Commission. Katie? Let's make sure this mic is more comfortable for you.
Thank you. Welcome. I'm Katie Sanchez from the Native American Heritage Commission. My cohort here is Frank Leinhart. He'll be taking over the timber harvest for our agency, and he does a lot with oil spill drills, and I guess that's the oil that just happened in San Mateo area. So I would welcome you to the Tribal Forest Protection Act workshop. We're pleased that it's here in California. There's over 164 federally and non-federally recognized tribes here in California, and it's rich in history, a very diverse landscape, and very diverse cultures. Many California tribes rely on national forests for cultural resources, contemporary economic enterprises, as well as maintaining traditional ways of life. The Tribal Forest Protection Act focuses on the restoration and reducing risk and threats to the forest. It's an important tool for California tribes and federal trustees to understand. In the spirit of cooperation that we're meeting here today, I'd like to see everybody take advantage of this opportunity and work together for the future. And I want to thank you all for attending. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katie. In that spirit of cooperation, our next two speakers represent the partners that helped put this workshop together, which is the Intertribal Timber Council and the U.S. Forest Service. So with that, I am going to introduce Wade McMaster, who is the Acting Regional Forest Tribal Relations Manager, Yes, I am not saying that 5 times fast. Wade has been instrumental in helping coordinate this, as many of you know him through his position as a tribal liaison. So, Wade?
Thanks, Stephanie, and good morning, everybody. Yeah, that's a long title. I just call myself Tribal Guy. I'm here right now just because Jean Wayne Evans, our Deputy Regional Forester, couldn't make it. She was pulled away last minute last night and sends her apologies, and she'll be missed because yeah, we have good people up at the region. But just want to welcome everybody here and just thank you for coming and taking the time out of your lives and traveling this far to come here. And as I look out among all of you, I see, so many tribes. I see different agencies. We've got Intertribal Timber Council. We've got BIA here. We've got Forest Service. And it's just good that we're all here, because one of the things that's important is that we've all got the same mission here on our lands in California, and that's taking care of the land and taking care of the landscapes. And it doesn't matter what kind of badge you might be wearing on your shirt, or the lineage of your ancestors, but we all are caretakers of the land, and so that's what brings us in this room together today, and that's really important. So what we're here today is just to expand these partnerships that we have, and I'm not going to go off this because I'll just sit here and read it, but we have a lot to do on this land. One of the things that Jean Wayne Evans was pulled away for had to do with tree mortality, and that's a big issue right now. It's a big issue to all of us. And so coming here today in this workshop to come up with projects that can address that issue, tree mortality as well as other things, is really important. And also just kind of walking around as I was going over my talking points today too, I ended up just going into conversations with everybody, people that I recognize from other places, people I haven't met yet. And I think that this is really important. What we're doing here is just to meet together and spend this time to get to know one another. And I think that that's how we're really going to get to the root of problem solving and getting on the ground and doing good work, is by, just sitting down, rolling our sleeves up, and, getting to know each other personally and professionally. And so I really look forward to these 3 days. And again, I just want to thank everybody, and let's have a great 3-day workshop. Thanks.
Thank you, Wade, and a welcome from Intertribal Timber Council, Don Motanic.
Thank you, Stephanie. Phil Rigdon is the president of the Intertribal Timber Council, Yakima Natural Resource Director, and unfortunately he's not able to make this conference, but I'd like to be able to express our thanks to Stephanie and Sonia Tamez and Jim Erickson, plus the Forest Service, for helping fund this workshop and providing an opportunity for people to convene and work on issues with the Tribal Forest Protection Act. And one of the things that our differences in our organization is, I always, when fighting fire anyway, it was always interesting to go on the fire line and listen to the different agencies when you talk with people about what they're about. And even with tribes, my mother's Coeur d'Alene and my father's Umatilla, and every time we go to the different longhouse, the kids go there and we come back, and every time we used to head back home, my kids would say, "Boy, Grandma's tribe is sure different from Grandpa's tribe." That was something. And I think it's because they understood they're different cultures, different languages, And I think that's one of the things here that we'll be listening to is not only tribes that are different, but even within districts are a little different. And one of the key things maybe is to listen to that word of the Tribal Forest Protection Act is protection. During there's the National Indian Forest Resource Management Act, the independent assessment, the team went out and listened to tribes and had focus groups, and they were real interested to hear about the tribes' version. What did they mean by protection, and what did foresters mean by protection? And to a forester, they thought, well, fire and invasive species and pests and forest health, that was protection to a forester. But then when they talked with the tribal elders, the elders were like, well, what about our water? What about our wildlife and our fish and our berries and our roots? You know, that's what the tribal elders talked about when they did their focus groups, when the IFMAT team went out and visited with tribes. So those are the type of things that this is the third workshop that we're having, and that's what was interesting at each workshop. It's just real interesting to hear everybody's viewpoint, and then being able to capture those different viewpoints on the flip charts is really valuable, that you actually see it there, and then it gets you thinking. And then that's what'll be that everybody, I think, changes after 3 days. You know, anytime you convene a group of people, it's real interesting and fun. You know, that there's also a lot of aha moments. So once again, I'd like to thank Stephanie, Jim, Sonia for all the hard work that they've done on putting this group, this workshop together. And please enjoy, work hard, but also have fun too. So thank you.
So now I'd like all of you to actually introduce yourself, but not all at once. So I'm going to go around. I have the microphone. If you want to use it, you can. If you don't want to, you don't need to. In the interest of time, share your name, where you're from, whether it's an agency or a tribe or a community, and what kind of experience do you have with TFPA? If you have no experience, what are you hoping to achieve at the end of the workshop? So, Stephanie Lucero, I'm with the Center for Collaborative Policy. That's why I'm here. My experience with TFPA is I've worked with some of these amazing folks in putting these workshops on previously. In addition to Sonia, Don Motanic, Jim Erickson, you'll hear from some of our speakers, Jessica Robertson, who you'll also be introduced from the U.S. Forest Service, Wade McMaster, as I mentioned, was instrumental in helping coordinate this, and as well as Dirk Charlie, who's hiding in the back, and as always, a fantastic ally in working with Forest Service and the tribes. So, next in line for introductions.
I better stand up. Hi, I'm Sonia Jimenez. Many of you remember me when I worked for the Forest Service, or whenever I worked with 3 nonprofit organizations after retiring. Currently, I'm volunteering with ITC and the Forest Service and tribes, anyone who wants to work with TFPA. I've worked on 6 projects so far and hope to get another half dozen.
Wade, you've kind of introduced yourself. Did you want to add anything?
Well, I guess just that last question that you asked, what we hope to take from this. So experience-wise with TFPA, I don't have a whole lot. I work with a lot of other tools with tribes, and so that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about learning more about TFPA, actually having some projects back on my forest, the Plumas and Lassen, to hit the ground running and just have another tool in our toolbox with the tribes.
Thank you.
My name is Christina McDonald, Norfolk Rancherie Environmental Director. I have no experience with the TFPA, but I'm here to learn and figure out a way to work with our Sierra National Forest in protecting our native lands.
My name is Lee Pillman. I'm the Director of Natural Resources and Environmental Policy for the Credit Tribe. And I have a little bit of experience with TFPA, but not good experience.
And that's okay.
2007.
I'm David Medford with the Cook Tribe. I'm the AFMO. I have no experience with TFPA and I'm going to learn a lot.
I'm Keith Carnes. I'm the forester for the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe. We got some experience with TFPA. We've done one project and we're going to look to expand it and maybe get another project well on the way. We've kind of got the Chippewa Forest listening to us right now. So.
Hi, Ben Benoit. I work for the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe as the assistant wildlife director. I'm with Keith here. We're hoping to get a project started this week, so hopefully, I myself don't have much experience with the TFPA, but hopefully learn a lot and get a project rolling.
Good morning, my name is Karen Lassard. I'm the district ranger on the Black District of the Chippewa National Forest. The Chippewa National Forest is unique, whereas 75% of our forest overlays the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe Reservation, and the band holds rights to hunting, fishing, and gathering. Those rights have been ignored for a long time, and we're changing it, and TFPA is one of the tools we're using.
I'm Katie Sanchez with the Native American Heritage Commission, but I am Sioux and Chippewa from South Dakota.
At the right table.
I know.
Frank Leiner, Native American Heritage Commission, and no formal experience with TFPA, but looking to learn a lot today.
Denise Tolney, I'm District Ranger on the Bass Lake Ranger District of the Sierra National Forest, and I don't have much experience with TFPA, but it's just another tool in the toolbox, so I'm ready to learn.
My name is Ken Holbrook. Good morning, everyone. I work for the Mighty Summit Consortium, Mighty Indian, so in Northern California. We're here in partnership with Greenville Rancheria. We're a tribal organization, and this is our first attempt at making the TFPA work for us. But again, we have a lot of objectives up in our community that are probably very consistent with everyone else's. So one of the major aspects of our mission is to kind of have some really dynamic, collaborative partnerships with agencies. It's a way forward for us. So we're very honored to be here today and thankful for the opportunity.
You don't have to sit up if you don't want it. Good morning, everybody. I'm Janine Book, and I'm the Deputy District Ranger on the Mountain Hub Ranger District, which is on the Columbus in Northern California. And don't have a lot of formal experience with TFPA. I was a meat planner before, so of course it was kind of one of those background buzzwords, but I'm happy to learn how we can use it to do some planning projects.
My name is Andy Manning. I'm the assistant fire chief of the Greenville Rancheria, and we have no experience with
We're here to change that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nolan Cole, I'm the district ranger for the Six Rivers National Forest. I have the Lower Trinity, Orleans, and the Yukon Ranger districts. My experience with the TFPA is, I used to be the president of the Intertribal Timber Council when it was proposed as a bill and got through legislation, and so I've been involved in the start of it on that side. While I was the Huba forest manager for about 20 years. We had a project with the region here, and it was one of the first TFPA projects in the region, and it's still going. We're still working on it today. We'll talk a little bit about it today. So I've been on both sides of the fence on the issue. So I got a little bit of experience with TFPA.
Just a little.
Good morning, I'm Amy Detschke. I'm the Regional Director for the Bureau of Indian Affairs for the Pacific Region in Sacramento. And so, welcome to Sacramento. We did bring good weather for you. That's what Jim was just talking about. I really haven't done a lot with TFPA. I've been kind of involved since the beginning. Fortunately for me, I think it's an opportunity, another opportunity to provide partnerships and work on partnerships. And we do that a lot. I spend a lot of my time developing partnerships. We're very fortunate. I was just telling Leaf this morning, I saw an old newsletter of him and Brian Ruger and Nolan were all in it, and I told him, I said, we all look so young, and he said, because we were. So anyway, I've had the opportunity of having Nolan or George, was spending time with them on the tribal side and the BI side, and because we had already developed those partnerships, I think we had a big trust in each other. So we were able to do some things, like I said, this is all about partnershiping. I communicate a lot with Randy, and do a lot of work on that side. So I think really, like I said, this is just another opportunity to develop partnerships and to work together. So again, welcome to Sacramento.
I forgot to mention that Julie Griffin-Flattery, who's about to introduce herself, was also one of the helpers in putting this together, so that was my bad.
Hi, I'm Julie Griffith-Platter with the Sierra Nevada Conservancy. It's a state agency, and I don't have much experience with TFPA, but what I'd like to see come out of this is that not only there's a partnership with the Forest Service and the tribes, but that there are partnerships that move forward with the state as well. And I think that the TFPA, as well as a partnership with the Sierra Nevada Conservancy and Forest Service on another program, the Watershed Improvement Program, are aligned really well and provide, this great opportunity to bring all of the governing bodies together.
Good morning. My name is Ricky Krause. I'm the Mountain Maidu, and I'm with the Mountain Maidu Consortium. I've never worked with this organization, but my grandfather always told me as long as I take care of the forest is going to take care of me. And it's been doing really well. There's a lot of work to be done, and I hope that we can find some common ground and get a lot accomplished. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, I'm Mary Adelzada, and I'm with the Maidu Summit Consortium and Conservancy. It's a very collaborative organization, so this is just a great opportunity to work with the Forest Service and Greenville. So I look forward to learning more.
My name is Monica Harriman. I'm the Grants Management Specialist for the Forest Service in Region 5 here. So I just came to learn about how we're going to all work together, and we do a lot of the paperwork that kind of implements those projects. So it's my part.
Good morning. My name is Constance Zipper. I'm with U.S. Forest Service Grants and Agreements. I work with Monica extensively. My background in tribal work area has been pretty much with Region 3 and the collaborative forest restoration programs. Work with Mescalero Apache tribe in the southern part of New Mexico, as well as the tribes in the northern part. It's always been a tremendous opportunity to build relationships with the tribe, and look forward to doing that here in Region 5. So thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Don Butts, the Art Chief, and TA, and any other projects that the council gives me. For the Viejas Band of Kumeyaay Indians in Southern California, my exposure with the Forest Protection Act was back in '06. We did one project, and great start, and it sort of petered off. So I'm hoping with our new district ranger to be able to partner and actually develop some stuff and expand that out. And I think the challenge for us is going to be in Southern California, forests look very different than anywhere else in the state, and trying to get people to understand that there is a forest. It's just they're round instead of not tall and pointy trees.
Good morning, I'm Ray Ryan. I'm the grant writer administrator for the Kumeyaay, for the Viejas Band of Kumeyaay Indians, and I am here prospecting for funds.
Interesting, you should be sitting next to me. My name is Pedro Torres. I am the tribal liaison for the Natural Resources Conservation Service in Area 4, which is Southern California. We were asked to sit on the panel on the last day as potential sources for funds for forest projects. I've not worked with the Tribal Forest Protection Act much, but I have done a lot of work in forest management on tribal land and with the tribes I work with down there. So I'm here mainly to learn more about what the other tribes are doing in different parts of the state, as well as what the Forest Service is doing on tribal land.
Good morning, I'm Bob Heyer. I'm the District Ranger of the Descanso Ranger District of the Cleveland. Just started about 3 months ago, so obviously the our tribal partners are very excited to get started with this again. My experience with TFPA is limited indirectly. The last forest I worked on had a highly successful project that I was able to see the implementation of. So I'm hoping to take that experience and translate it into success here in Southern California. So my reason for being here today is to learn all the tools to make that successful and to have a great partnership.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew Spain. I'm a fuels planner on the Lower Trinity, Orleans, and Yukon Ranger districts on the Six Rivers National Forest. I haven't had much experience with TFPA regarding planning projects so much as implementation of a successful project, and here to learn some ways that we can adapt that process maybe and apply it in other areas further up the river, up to Klamath, and look for opportunities where we can build off of our successes that we have with the Mill Creek project and the Hoopa TFPA. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Joe Aragon, Deputy District Ranger on the Mendocino National Forest, Upper Lake and Covelo District. And I don't have a lot of experience with the TFPA, but been working closely with the Round Valley Indian tribes and trying to build capacity and build partnerships. And one of the first comments that I heard was, well, nobody's ever done this before. For just some of the stuff that I was doing, and my first question was, well, why? And so then we started looking at building from an MOU that we already have in place. And come to find out, everything we want to do, the authorities seem to be already in place. We just need to explore those. And so there's been a lot of challenges, I guess you'd say, but I don't recognize problems or issues. I see them as opportunities. And so that's what I'm here for, and we're looking at building some partnerships.
Over here to another partner from the Timber Council and our coffee fairy. Good morning, my name is Laura Alvidresen from the ITC, and I just want to welcome you, and I'm here as a facilitator, and let's get some projects going. There we go.
Daniel Cardenas, Tribal Council from Pit River Tribe. Our tribe doesn't have any experience with TFPA.
Good morning, my name is Marisa Fierro. I'm the Environmental Director for Pit River Tribe, and it's an honor to be here today to look at building on the MOU that we have in place with Reforest and also expanding the toolbox for conducting ecological restoration on the Pit River Tribe's ancestral land and expanding our tribal workforce training program. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ann Grasso. I'm from Alaska National Forest. I'm the District Ranger on Hat Creek. I work with the Pit River Tribe. I have no experience with the TFPA, but looking at just the opportunity, like you said, another tool in the toolbox. So looking forward to it. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Boisseau. I'm a District Ranger on the Eagle Lake Ranger District on the Alaska National Forest. Hello, Connie Zipperer. Connie was one of the first people I ever met with the Forest Service, like 12 years ago, right? Way back when. No, anyhow, I'm here to work with Ann and work with the Pit River Tribe and Susan Rancheria, who unfortunately couldn't make it today. But no, I'm here to learn all about this. This is all new to me, and I definitely like to learn about and take advantage of opportunities to improve landscapes for various reasons wherever they exist. So it seems like there's going to be a plethora of rationale behind using this, and I want to work with Wade and go forward and do good things. So.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Arturo Delgado. I'm the District Ranger on the San Jacinto Ranger District of the San Bernardino National Forest. Pleasure to be here. I don't have much experience with TFPA, but I'm looking forward to learning a lot this week.
My name is Bill Sapp. I'm the forest archaeologist and tribal liaison for the San Bernardino National Forest. And a few years ago, when Daniel McCarthy was working on the forest, we had a TFPA project with Santa Rosa Band of Kauai Indians and Ramona Band of Kauai Indians for the Prairie Pine Protection Project, and hope that we can do some more things like that in the future.
Good morning, I'm Thora Padilla. Hi, Connie. I'm with the Mescalero Apache tribe, and we, like Nolan, have a little bit of experience working with TFPA. We were actually the first tribe in the country to have a TFPA contract with the Lincoln National Forest down in southern New Mexico. We do a lot of work with the Forest Service now. In the past, I have served on the Collaborative Forest Restoration Program Advisory Committee. That's CFRP is a grant that's available down in New Mexico. And I'm also on the NRCS Western Regional Tribal Conservation Advisory Committee. That's a mouthful. But we shop around everywhere for funding, and that's kind of our special skill down there. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me. I'm Diana Craig. I'm with the Forest Service Regional Office. I'm the Deputy Director of the Ecosystem Management Staff. I don't have any experience with TFPA, but I'm very excited about it, that our staff covers forests in all their glory, all vegetation types, including forests and non-treed areas, water, wildlife, fish, rare plants, and invasive species. So really excited about looking at all opportunities to protect and restore our communities. And so looking forward to learning about this tool.
Good morning, I'm Jared Aldern. I'm the Environmental Protection Program Manager for the Cold Springs Rancheria of Mono Indians of California. And I have no experience personally with the Tribal Forest Protection Act. The Cold Springs Rancheria has not engaged in any TFPA projects, but has worked on various projects in collaboration with the Sierra National Forest in the past, and looking forward to starting more work in collaboration with Dirk Charlie and Denise Tolmie, other Sierra National Forest staff, and maybe with other tribes in the region also.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sherry Hazelhurst. I'm the Director of State and Private Forestry for the Pacific Southwest region, so California, Hawaii, and 6 Pacific Island territories. And I have a little bit of understanding about TFPA, but I really want to learn some more to help us all be more successful, help facilitate and support the projects that we can do together. Thanks.
It is so cold to have state and private here. Bonjour, so you say, hello, my friends in Potawatomi. I'm a citizen of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. My name is Brett Clark. I'm also the Director of the Office of Tribal Relations for the U.S. Forest Service in Washington, D.C. And I don't have nearly as much experience with TFPA as I would like, even though I've been working with it for the past 10 years. You know, it's really time to move the use of TFPA forward, and that's what we're here to do. So let's do it.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Robinson. I work with Fred in the Washington office of the Forest Service. I'm on the forest management staff, and forest management and OTR have been working together with Intertribal Timber Council to really make an investment and try to grow TFPA. We have an interagency agreement with ITC, and it's really exciting work we've been able to do, in large part due to the awesomeness of Stephanie and Sonia and Jim. So it's just really exciting to be here. My specific role, I coordinate a number of initiatives aimed to increase the pace and scale and quality of restoration, working with the regions. So Collaborative Forest Landscape Restoration Program, Integrated Resource Restoration, Tribal Forest Protection Act, and then somewhere in there I'm supposed to fit in some time on biomass. So I do a little bit with that. But TFPA, as Fred mentioned, is really an underutilized tool, and we really want to make some strategic investments in growing the tool, and one of the big parts of that is the training. So really excited to have all of you here this week, and I'm really interested to just learn and connect with all of you and hear more about what are some of the bottlenecks to increasing capacity. What can we do about that at the Washington office level? So really excited to be with all of you this week and learn from all of you. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Jim Erickson.
I'm the fire technical specialist for the Intertribal Timber Council. And I got lots of experience with TFPA. Way back when Nolan and we were crafting the language for the bill and writing letters of support. You know, when Nolan was president, we got the bill passed. So from there, I've done 9 site reviews, twice to Mescalero. I've been there many more times. So I've seen successful projects. I've seen challenges in projects. So I've kind of lived TFPA for the last 10, 12 years. So I got a lot of experience in that. And one thing I would share with you is before you leave this week, make sure you get to know Nolan and Thora really well, because these two have been, they were go-getters from the start. When TFPA passed, they were the front runners. Thora's was the first, and Nolan's was one of the first projects to get out there and get going. And they've lived the ups and downs of TFPA and they've worked it out. So I encourage you, don't miss that opportunity to get to know those two.
Thanks, Jim. Manu, Ile, always fun. Hi everyone, I'm Dirk Charlie. I'm the Sierra and Sequoia National Forest Tribal Relations Liaison, and I'm also a Tribal Council member at large for the Dunlap Band of Mono and Wilderness people. I work on the Sierra and the Sequoia National Forest, so from the Merced River, Yosemite area to the Mojave Desert, that's my area of responsibility to communicate and work together with the tribes and ensure Forest Service redeems its trust responsibilities. My familiarity with the Tribal Forest Protection Act is in depth with Tule River Indian Reservation, the Tule River Reservation Protection Project, the TERP project with the Western Divide Ranger District on the Giant Sequoia National Monument, Sequoia National Forest. And my job is to constantly market and promote this underutilized tool, this piece of legislation that tribes can leverage and work with their forests and deal with some of the things that the Sierra Sequoia is like tree mortality central right now. And we're in the midst of forest planning. So if you want to plan for the future, my gosh, make sure that Tribal Forest Protection Act is part of the tool that we're going to utilize to take care of our lands. And when I think about the connections that can be made here, they're not just working on your proposals, but it's the connections between the people. And my job as a liaison, I do my best to get the word out on who's who, the tribal leads, the decision makers, and vice versa. And there needs to be more liaisons and more Native Americans in these types of roles, because they know the people, they know the lay of the land, especially when emergencies happen. So when I think about my job, as being an ex-hotshot foreman with Orchard Meadow Hotshots and equal employment manager, talking some employment, laws, rules, and authorities, and then also as a former human resources specialist when it comes to employee relations and litigations and that type of stuff, mediations. I got some skills here, but I'll do everything that I can to help the project be a success. And I'm proud to see our District Ranger Denise Tolney here in North Fork and Cold Springs and the others. The tribes in and around the area that I deal with will have a good speaker on this tomorrow with Brian Ruger with Tule River Indian Reservation, and plus hopefully somebody from the Western Divide Ranger District makes it to give the Forest Service side. If not, I'll do my best, and sorry for the long-winded intro and everything, but it's that type of expertise we want to work together with and what I can share. It's good to see Native American Heritage Commission.
Hi, I'm Lauren Ebner, and I'm a procurement contracting officer with U.S. Forest Service, located in Region 1 in Missoula, Montana. And I'm going to be talking to you about using contracting, particularly procurement, to implement the Tribal Forest Protection Act.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Rice. I'm the director for the Office of Wildland Fire in the Department of the Interior. So this is one of the offices that's in the Office of the Secretary. You might be thinking, so what's Department of the Interior Office of the Secretary involved in TFPA for? So part of my role with TFPA through several different positions, both with the Bureau of Indian Affairs as well as with the Forest Service, has been back in DC in dealing with our congressional partners, dealing with the budget side of TFPA and how it all fits together, as well as looking at implementing policy that says we either use TFPA, we don't use TFPA, how do we do it? The one question that I would ask that all of you sort of plan here as we go into the day, you've heard several people mention TFPA is a tool, so how do we use this tool in the toolbox? TFPA is an authority that allows you to use all the tools you have in the toolbox. And this is where it gets really fun and complicated, and your head will be spinning by 9:30, I promise you, but we'll make sense of it by the end of it. And part of it is, does this authority allow you to use a self-determination contract, Public Law 93-638? Does it allow you to use some type of stewardship contract? Is there a timber contract, whether it's Bureau of Indian Affairs or a Forest Service timber contract, which mirror each other but are very different from the different authorities that originate out of departments of the Ag and Interior. So as you go through this today, tomorrow, and the next day, and you're working with your partners, be sure to learn this community of practice that you're all building. Everybody in this room, this is your new network of folks to lean on and dig into. How do I get through, whether it's Laura or Nolan or other folks in the room? How do you get to that place where all of a sudden you say, here's the tool, and TFPA allows us to get there?
Again, John Motanic with ITC is Tatsmewi, Katsiayo. Good morning and thank you, NISPERS.
Just a quick note, he's probably not going to introduce himself. You will notice the videographers, they are here mostly for our presentations today. If you do not feel comfortable with your image, let Mark know. These are so that we have the presentations that you'll hear today on the fundamentals, and you can have some background information, resources to go back to, and more training opportunities to share with your tribes if they aren't here or other staff. So thank you all for introducing yourself, and let's talk agenda, shall we? We're actually on schedule. Let's really start this agenda here. So you're here for 2.5 days, and again, we want to say thank you to all of you for coming here. You'll notice, based on what you heard from experiences, that there's a wide range of folks here with experience, with no experience, with a lot of experience, with good experience, with bad experience. We know that. That was intentional. As Brian said, you're here to learn from each other, you're here to work together, and we have a number of different resources here to help you in understanding what TFPA is. I like that. It's not necessarily a tool, it's the toolbox. How to use it, and then some of the different nuances in working in partnership with the Forest Service. So today's focus, as you'll notice in the agenda, is really about what TFPA is. We'll hear more from Brian Rice. We'll do a quick break, and then we'll have our fundamentals from Sonia Sanchez, who's the ITC TFPA consultant. After the fundamentals, you'll hear from at least 3 of our presenters here of their experiences. They're called success stories, and some of those successes were hard won. We want to paint a realistic picture, but there's a lot of really great lessons learned and really great successes to share from those that are here participating. Those aren't the only stories, there's plenty more. We'll do some question and answer after each of the presentations. I will ask that, because we are recording, if you can hold your questions till after the presentations, we can make sure to get the full presentation and then ask your questions there. There's pens at the front desk where you got your materials, so you can jot down any of those questions. After we do our success stories, we will go into breakout sessions. The intent of that is for those of you with your tribe and Forest Service partners, you'll be working on proposals and talking about proposals. And we'll give you some more instruction before then, but if you look at your agenda, there's a couple questions in each of those breakout sessions that we're going to ask you to think about. We'll have in-the-room facilitators to help you with that, keep you on task, and make sure if you have questions that you can't answer among your group, you can pull from multiple resources that we have here over the next 2.5 days. So we'll do the breakout session today. The main focus is what TFPA is, what are some of our common priorities, where do we have some common interests, and if not, where do we need to work on finding those. Tomorrow is going to be a very much nuts and bolts kind of day. We've got presentations on grants, contracting, NEPA. We'll be hearing from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to figure out how to expedite that process, as well as sharing some other tools and partnerships that we've seen to be successful in implementing TFPA. Again, we'll do our lunch, and then we'll have a breakout session where we can take what you learned from the earlier sessions and think about how that relates to your potential proposal, or if you're revising a proposal, your expected proposal, and pull in the resources as needed. Day 3 addresses what I heard a lot of you talking about, funding. Funding, partnerships, how do we build those partnerships and bring them together? We'll be hearing from a number of speakers, and we'll be staying in here together as a group and working through those. Throughout all of these days, please feel free to ask questions of our presenters, of our resources, and each other. There's a full range here of folks with experience. Some of you that are attending have great experience with TFPA and may not be a presenter. So if you recognize those folks, tap into them. We have grants people, we have contracts people, ask the questions you need. If you don't have the answers, let us know and we can follow up and get those answers to you. In terms of your materials, you do have the agenda. I saw a number of you go and grab them. In addition to the agenda, you have printed out a tips and template handout. I'll discuss that in a little more detail, but that helps guide you through a TFPA proposal. And you also have some lunch options for our lunchtime, but we'll talk about that later. One thing you might have noticed, and I want to draw your attention to, is these thumb drives. For those of you that have computers, if you can download the materials, that's great. For those of you that don't, feel free to take a thumb drive. This is your workbook. It is too many pages to print out, but it is all the presentations you'll be hearing and seeing over the course of the next 2.5 days, as well as various resources that our presenters, speakers, and team felt would be valuable for you to have. So this is your workbook. We'll be showing all those materials over the course of the next couple days. You can take this home. I'll also be following up on the listserv with a link if you don't want to take the thumb drive home, so you'll have it online. So those are your materials. That's the course of the day. At any time, if you have a question or if there's something that you need answering, let me know or raise your hand during the time.